world videos. We're back in Torrevieja with the latest news, and it's all changed again. Yet it's been a big U-turn on the low-cost airlines, and it's 1-0 to Ryanair and the rest of the low-cost, and it's a 0 for Spain. As you all know, last month they was all up in court, and they all got massive fines. Ryanair, all the low-cost airlines, they were taken to court, and they was having to pay compensation for all these things they were charging for, like boarding pass print off and taking hand luggage on and being charged for it. And in the Spanish courts, it was ruled it was not allowed. And apart from other European countries, which is okay, but Spain said they're not accepting these rules. And they went back years ago when it was in the old regulations, but Ryanair pointed out the EU latest rules. Of course, it all went to court again. We're going to keep you up to date with all the latest news. First of all, we're going to carry on with this story about the low-cost airlines and Ryanair, where it went into the European court, and the European court voted on the low-cost airlines' favour. And they said they can actually carry on charging people to print off their boarding passes if they haven't got it on their phone, and also can charge people for carrying luggage on board and putting it in the overhead hangars. And that's what happened last month. It was all ruled against. And they had to start making changes in October. But now it's as you were. They can do what they like. And the European courts voted, and yeah, all the low-cost airlines have won the case. And they're saying they're actually gone bonkers, the old Spanish. They've gone and said that it's all gone one step backwards now. And they're really disgraced that the EU have actually voted in favour of the low-cost airlines to carry on charging these ridiculous charges. Listen, if it was the other way and they had to start letting you on with free hand luggage, it wouldn't have made much difference, because we would have had to pay one way or other. They're not going to let you on for €9.99 or €20 to fly because you haven't got any luggage. They would have just put the fares right up. So it's back as you was. Basically, if you've got no luggage, you ain't got to pay for it. So even though there were Germany, Portugal, Slovenia all said no all the way through the votes, Austria and Estonia sat on their hands, but the motion still went through. Which now means the low-cost airlines can carry on charging for the carry-on bags above your head on the old storage lockers. But Spain's minister is outraged, and it was only a few weeks ago the Minister of Consumer Affairs slapped a whopping €179 million fines on all these 5 budget airlines. They were Ryanair, Vueling, EasyJet, Norwegian and Valletta. So yeah, they all got this massive fine. And that was all to do with, like I say, the boarding pass bit without the charge to print it off. And they reckon it was against consumer rights with the old charging of the hand luggage, which of course been happening for a long time. Spain was going by the old ruling of 1008 and 2008 that over 40 Spanish court rulings backed them up. But well, Europe and the EU never did they? So yeah, that's the end of that matter, because Brussels just give it a thumbs up. That was a U-turn. Of course, didn't last long, did it, before Ryan O'Leary got his way. He didn't want to pay that €107 million fine. So yeah, backed up by Brussels. But we've got some more news. And it's a Brit that was caught in a massive Spain cocaine crackdown, 3.8 tonnes and 100,000 seized. And that was by the National Police. They actually dismantled one of the largest cocaine trafficking networks that they'd ever seen on the Canary Islands. 47 citizens, or 1 British national arrested for this massive drug cocaine seized. Investigators are expected to find even more as the operation continues. They're saying charges were filed over a massive operation from June the 3rd, backed by Europol, and are supported by the law enforcement agencies from Portugal, Colombia, UK and even the USA. And they were moving cocaine for at least 4 months. Maritime smuggling ring had actually ferried this cocaine from Colombia, Brazil, Lanzarote, and Cura. And they operated 11 speedboats, each racing out to meet a larger mothership somewhere in the Atlantic. Once the mothership was loaded with all this American cocaine, crates were transferred to the speedboats. And then they, of course, slipped off in their little directions to the Canary Islands and all the coves. And it was all done in darkness. They used all burner phones and all encryptic like messages. And the smugglers also used encryptic satellite terminals, burner phones, coded language to stay just ahead of the police. And they also done 29 house searches, Gran Canaria, Fuerteventura and Lanzarote, and also confiscated 69 vehicles, 19 speedboats, and 6 of the properties had over 100 grand in them. A massive drug operation taken down in the Canary Islands. So yeah, police are always cracking down and catching them, weren't they? Our own little crime going on here as well. It's been happening for the last 5 years. They call him the backpack robber, and he keeps resurfing every year or so, and then he does a spurt of like break-ins. He's always got his backpack on him. He does at night time, and he seems to be targeting the same area around Playa Flamenca, Costa, on the Costa Blanca here, which is like a kind of English community. Despite many break-ins he's done quite a lot, and they've got photos of him and him with his rap. And despite many break-ins he's done, and millions of people that have reported him, loads of crime reference, things he's stolen, jewellery, laptops, all kinds of things, money. And he seems to break in at night, but they still can't catch him. Saying there's been at least 10 formal complaints against him, a load of denouncers, and it's got a good description as well, but they just can't catch him. And across Torrevieja, Costa, over 30 separate complaint numbers are linked to this man, and 30 plus official reports, each linked to the break-in with the same identical operation modus, they're saying, and he breaks in through the windows, uses fishing kind of nets, and he gets the handbags, wallets, electronics. But yeah, they just can't catch him. They even got good surveillance of him on their surveillance cameras, but really doesn't seem to bother him. Saying you don't need forensic like fingerprints and all that. We already have all that. They've got everything on him, the photographs, the whole lot. They just want the police to just get him, you know, because as you know, in Torrevieja, Costa, unlike here on Torrevieja, the police is very little. They've got a little budget. They don't have a lot of police there, and apparently there's about 10 police roles that hasn't been filled for the last 5 years. So they're very short of police, and there's a lot going on, and the residents are just not happy what is going on the Torrevieja, Costa, Playa Flamenca, all around now. And there's just a lot of crime happening lately, and this is just one of them. So yeah, they're all up in uproar, all the locals. They're fearing their house could be the next one broken into, and this backpack robber just doesn't care. Meanwhile, busy here, isn't it, in Torrevieja, Playa de Cura, eh? This is Saturday, just gone 12 o'clock, and everyone is enjoying this beautiful heat wave we're having, 30 degrees. And it's the hottest it's been for a long, long time. Apparently, for this kind of temperature, this time of year, last week we broke records. The hottest it was since 1950. Always breaking records, ain't we? There's one record you don't want to be breaking, and that's the noise record. I don't know if you know about the noise regulations here in Spain, but yeah, you do have noise rules, and I'm just going to update you on them, just so you know that you don't get yourself in trouble. And they're saying the noise generally shouldn't exceed more than 35 decibels during the day, and that is from 8 AM up to 10 PM. Also saying you've got to be respectful, because noisy activities like loud music and all that kind of work or banging and all that is prohibited, and they're saying between 10 PM and 8 AM. So from 10 o'clock onwards, you can't be having disco music blaring, you can't be knocking walls down in your house. And if you take no notice of these rules, then the local police will turn up, and then you'll be in trouble, because you'll be issued a fine. I mean, if it's a minor thing, you know, you just be slapped with a 90 euros. But if it's pretty serious, they could go up to 3,000 euros. So yeah, don't want to get yourself in trouble and have that music blaring out and knocking walls down at 3 o'clock in the morning, because then they will turn up. Basically, it's just common sense, anyway. You know, you have respect after 10 o'clock at night. You don't want to be making too much noise, not just for the neighbours, for the community, because in these urbanisations at night, it's like a ghost town. You can hear a pin drop. Like here on the old Playa Cura beach today, everyone's having fun. Dipping in the water, kids jumping up and down. We've got some white people turning brown, looking like lobsters. But yeah, so that is the latest news, of course, and we're getting any more updates on the Ryanair. If there's any more U-turns, shenanigans, I'll let you know. But meanwhile, if you've enjoyed the video, like I say, you can always buy me a coffee and check out the next video of all the latest news. From Playa Cura Beach, it's hasta luego.